Hey everyone, welcome to episode 120 of Nerds with Mics. I'm Justin.
Oh, I'm Emily. Sorry.
And I'm Travis.
That's right. Those are your names.
Yeah.
Today,
Oh my God.
we have a jam-packed show that we have to fit into a very specific amount of time, so we're going to do our best. But today we're going to talk about Far Cry 6, New World, the new Bond movie, and Ted Lasso, and probably more. But first, before we go into any of that stuff, I want to know what you all have been up to. So, Emily, please start us off with your doings over the last couple of weeks.
Your doings.
I couldn't think of the right way to say it.
Well, New World. Playing lots of New World. I actually went last Saturday on a whim. My friends were like, "Hey, we're going to Kings Island tomorrow." And they're like, "You should come with us," because it was like the first Saturday of their haunt thing.
Oh yeah,
and it was really fun. But my body doesn't know what exercise is because I never do it. Like I never do it ever.
Yeah.
And so my body was like, what are you doing? And so all this last week I was dying. Like dying. My legs felt like jello. Like I hurt my toe somehow. Like yeah. So, but on like, I've been trying to grind out New World as best as I can. But it's hard when you have multiple people on different servers that want to play with you, want you to play with them, and you can only have 2 characters on a server.
Yeah, so which is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I'm on NA East, but there's all these different world sets within New World, and so like I have one on Arc, Mew, and like Psy or whatever. But you can't have multiples on the world sets because they're going to merge those world sets eventually. And so like I created a character on one world set because my friend wanted to play. And then she created another character on another world set because she had other friends that wanted to play. And now she's playing more on the other one. So I deleted that character and made a new one. I leveled that one up all the way to 14 and then deleted it. And then I grinded that one out to 14. And then I grinded the second one. I've grinded it all the way up to 21. And then the other one is back up to 19. So I've played a lot.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what I've done. I've been dying and playing New World. So
Travis,
dying and playing New World.
Travis, what have you been up to?
Fair enough. Well, not grinding. I haven't grinded since high school, but
oh boy, Urban Meyer would be displeased.
Anyways, no. I have actually been up to a lot. I obviously finished Ted Lasso. We talked about that. Well, we will talk about that. What else? I beat that game that I was talking about, Kenna Spirit of Bridges. I beat that game. I'm getting ready to, and I played I played like an hour's worth of Far Cry 6, and it's pretty good so far. I plan on diving into that a little bit more. Finished Scrubs 100%, including season 9. Finished Scrubs. So, Justin, you were so right. You've always been right.
I've never struck out on a show recommendation. I want to recommend Brooklyn Nine-Nine next.
Yes.
The only thing that I've tried to watch that I think you like that I don't care for is Arrested Development.
I'm actually rewatching that right now in my spare time.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I don't know. Wow. Maybe I'll try. I'll give it a try. A try. And then what else have I been up to? I don't really think much of anything other than those things. I've been working, started classes back up. I think I talked about that. Been doing lots of homework. I haven't got to go to the movie theaters. I want to see the new James Bond. I've wanted to see the new Venom movie. More so James Bond than Venom. So I'm planning on going to the movies probably on one of my days off to see that. So looking forward to that. But other than that, that's pretty much been it.
Awesome. I have been watching a lot of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which I would absolutely recommend to all of you. I think, Emily, you said you watched it, but Travis, that would be a great bridge show after Scrubs because it's kind of the same kind of goofy, over-the-top humor, but it has like a ton of heart. And it also just like cranks out like these crazy like 2 to 5 episode storylines in a row, or 2 to 5 episodes in a row. It's like part of one cohesive storyline, and that just shakes up the whole show. So like, it's nutty. Yeah, I saw Bond. I saw Ted Lasso. I've been playing a million games came out in the last 2 weeks, which I'm going to briefly touch on all of them here in a little bit. Hopefully, you all will be able to chime in as well when we do. But I'll dive into that list later. But New World is one of them. I only have one character, Emily. It's at 21 right now. I just got to 21 last night. But man, that game is fun. But it's a grind. Yeah, it's definitely.
It is so much a grind. I can't even like begin to tell you how frustrated I get when like I'm chopping down a tree and I need petrified wood, and it's like the chance of petrified wood from a tree is like probably like 1%. It's stupid. Like, and you need that stuff to make better gear, and you have to level up all of your different trades. And like to get really good gear, you have to have like 150 engineering skill, and like you have to make all this crap stuff to even get there. It's just
We might as well just go ahead and start talking about some New World. I think that's the first on the agenda, anyways, right?
Oh, before I forget, because you guys are recommending shows. There is a new show called. It's actually not new, but I just discovered it. It's called Tacoma FD.
Okay.
And it is from the two guys that was in Super Troopers, and they also star in it. And it's about
I've heard about that.
Yes, it's about a fire department in Tacoma, and it's Farva, and it's the Do You Boys Like Mexico? That guy.
Okay.
Yeah, like I can't remember their actual names, but like but it's those two guys.
Okay. What's it on?
So it's HBO, I think was it HBO? If you look up where to watch and then type in the name, it'll actually tell you where you can stream it. And then also if you like Brooklyn Nine-Nine and you like Scrubs, also Sirens. Sirens is a really good one. It's about a ambulance depot, and they're friends with the cops. And it's just like back and forth between the cops and the ambulance people and the EMS. And it's so good. It only got I think 2 or 3 seasons.
Did you mention that one a couple weeks ago?
I think I did. You really need to watch it. It's so good.
Okay.
You like Brooklyn Nine-Nine? Yeah.
I'm loving Brooklyn. We're not done with it yet, but it's so good. But I've got on my list here, it looks like 6 games that have come out in the last 2 weeks. Yes. And I personally would like to touch on all of them. I think we have all played most of them. There's a couple I think that only I have played. Real quick, T Legacy in the chat. They're level 36 in New World. They love Far Cry, and they recommend The Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory is a good choice.
That profile picture. You see
also
that profile
said,
picture? That must be somebody you know.
That also said Venom is dope AF.
Yes.
So the first game would be New World. I think that's the game that all 3 of us have played to some extent. Travis, I think you only have 2 hours logged on it. I think I saw that the other day.
I'm level 6, I think, is what level I'm at. Okay. It's because, let me tell you why. I was playing on my 49-inch ultra-wide monitor, and that game, it's a pain. So I just recently got a 32-inch, and now I'm going to start playing it again, probably starting tomorrow. So
okay. Do you guys? Go ahead.
Do you guys have new graphics cards, by the way?
Yeah, I've got a 3080.
Be careful. Be careful because make sure you're capping your frame rates. Make sure you go into NVIDIA settings and cap your frame rates in there because the game is still, even though people are capping their frame rates, it's still screwing up people's 30 series cards.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I have a 2080 Ti, but I'll go in and cap that.
I have a 1080 and I am still capping it, but it still looks beautiful. So
I am kind of I have been capping it in the game menu, but I'm kind of it's kind of one of those things where if it's going to brick it, now's the time because I'm still in warranty, which I think it comes with a 3 or 4 year warranty anyway, but I would rather it break today than 4 years from now. But I don't want it to break, period, though. But so this game came out launch day. I was super pumped, and then I had to wait 2 hours in a queue to play. Did you have a similar experience, I think?
5 hours. I went and did other things, but I saw the queue, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to stay in queue. And I started my queue at 3, I think, and I didn't get to play until 7 or something.
That's crazy.
So yeah.
It was hitting almost 1 million peak users on Steam during launch week. That first weekend was pretty busy too, but I mean, it's more of what we saw in the beta. I mean, it's a good, solid MMO action RPG kind of mechanics. It kind of reminds me of Skyrim in the sense that you level up from doing those things. If I beat you to death with a hammer over and over and over again, I'm going to level up my hammer. If I cut down a bunch of trees, I'm going to level up my logging. So I really like that because it gives you the freedom to really kind of forge this path of whoever you want to be. You're not restricted to a class or a certain identity. You can kind of branch off and do whatever you want to do. I really like that.
Same. It's just like, and there's so much to learn. There's so much to learn. Like for the longest time, I'm just using these like bare bones tools that, don't really do much for me. Until I was playing with one of my friends. She was like, here, I made you this pickaxe, and the pickaxe gave me more XP towards that skill. Yeah. So like if you go into to forge a pickaxe or an axe or a scythe or whatever it is, sickle, you add Azoth, the blue stuff, and that gives you a chance for there to be a perk on it. And the perks can range from getting you rare items when you're using that item. So a rare item would be the petrified wood that I need. And so like if you use that one, you're more likely to get petrified wood. There's one that has a 30, I think the one I have now has a 38% chance when I harvest something, I will get Azoth from it. Okay. So that's pretty cool. So like using just regular tools is not the way you want to go, because like you're doing yourself an injustice because you're not, getting extra materials, you're not getting extra XP and stuff like that. So I learned that like probably after 25 hours grinding in the game, and I'm like, wow. So
yeah, I'm still using the basic tools, so I need to look into that and craft them, or maybe buy them in the player-based economy marketplace.
Yes, you can buy them. I actually, I wasn't able to craft the specific one I wanted, and it was, I think it was, I wanted to level up my lumberjack, whatever that one is, lumber. I wanted to level up my lumber faster because I have everything else is like higher level. Yeah. So I got an axe because I couldn't make one. I got an axe from the marketplace that was like gives me extra experience when I chop down trees. So
I will say I feel like the community in this game is really good so far. I've only had one negative experience with somebody. Have you had a bunch of negative experiences?
Well, the server that I'm on has a ton of streamers on it. It's a bunch of the Borderlands 3 community. It's a bunch. It has like Dr. Lupo on there. It has Mr. Fruit on there. It has some of the big Borderlands content creators on there. And I have a lot of friends on there from the Wonderlands team as well. And so I was like, so I made one on there, and people are angry because there's so many streamers on there. And then of course people flock to those servers because right when the game first launched, people flocked to those servers because they wanted to play with their favorite streamer, right? They wanted to play on the same server their favorite streamer was on. And so that server had that was the server that had the it was like it could be a couple thousand in queue.
Wow.
At that time. So that was like a 7-hour wait. It was pretty crazy, and people would just badmouth streamers in the chats. They would just sit there and like in the global chats and just be like, they're a cancer on this and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, that's terrible. Like, it's just a game. Go play on a different server if you feel that way.
Yeah.
So, a little
my
unnecessary.
Experience has been positive as far as the social aspect goes. I've had a lot of people like when there's like one enemy that spawns, but everyone has to kill him. We've teamed up and taken him down, so we all got credit. I did have one guy shoot me as I was finishing a PvP quest. I passed like a dozen people with PvP turned on.
Yeah.
Nothing. We just, hey, see you. Thanks for not killing me. I'm like 5 feet away from going back into town. This guy makes a beeline for me and just shoots me in the face. I was like, man, this sucks. But
yeah. You must be on a better server, though,
probably,
with people that want to help each other, because the servers that I'm on, there was this one dude, I swear he was cheating. He was literally fine. He knew exactly where the things were going to spawn before they spawned. Jeez. And he was just killing them immediately because he was like level 60 and I was level like 20. I'm like,
stinks.
Dude. Yeah. And he was just killing them. And I needed it for a specific quest in that specific area. It was awful.
Travis, you have any thoughts on New World or...
I mean, from what little I played, I liked it. I went into it because I played the alpha and I didn't play much of the alpha, so I hadn't played it since then. So like it was basically brand new to me. Yeah. And I really wasn't expecting the gameplay to be like it was. It's like they've taken a lot of gameplay elements from like a lot of games and just kind of mashed them together. I wasn't expecting the crafting to be nearly as like fleshed out as it is, it's really cool. And I'm looking forward to really, playing a lot more of it. over the next couple days. So I'm gonna have to split my time between that and Far Cry because I really want to play some more Far Cry. So
okay. Speaking of Far Cry 6 did come out. Ubisoft released it last week, and I don't know if you've played it, Travis? Emily, have you played it?
I've played like an hour or two.
Yeah, I've played a few hours. It's good. I would say it's probably the best Far Cry game that, I mean, it should be because it's hard to explain. It's Far Cry. If you've played one, you've kind of played them all. This one does bring Giancarlo Esposito as the villain, which is really cool. Has some neat, I don't know, the story so far has been pretty good, but it's kind of what you expect with a Far Cry game. So do keep that in mind. The gameplay feels good. If you're playing on the PS5, the controller feels good. Haven't done co-op yet. I've just kind of been progressing through the story. Haven't really been doing a lot of side stuff either. Game, it's just a solid built game, but it is a Far Cry game. There's a good chance on Black Friday you'll find it for $30. So keep that in mind before you drop 60 or 70 on it. But it's a solid game, and I would recommend it probably on a sale for sure.
Yeah. I like the story so far. The story does not shy away from like some of the harsh realities of the culture and just like, all that stuff. From what little I've played so far, the story seems really good. The only issue that I've had,
that's a lot of Far Cry.
That's a lot of Far Cry.
Yeah, that is 9 hours and 16 minutes. Holy smokes!
Fair enough. The only issue I have is like I noticed that the frame rates aren't nearly as smooth as they could be when you're watching cutscenes and stuff.
They are a little off. They're like 30 frames. It looks like.
I also just read. Now I don't know if this is on PC only or not, but supposedly if you turn off the Ubisoft overlay, it dramatically increases your frame rate. Okay. So I don't know if that's an option on console, but I know it is on PC. So if you have it on PC and you've noticed that, just turn off the Ubisoft overlay, and you should notice a pretty decent performance increase. But yeah, from what I like so far, I definitely would recommend it. I like you said, I mean, with us being so close to the holidays, if you haven't bought it by this point, I'd probably wait a month or so, and you're definitely going to start seeing it going on sale because it gets pretty popular.
Ubisoft games drop so fast. I mean, they go on sale so fast. So I would just wait. The next two games I want to talk about, Hell Let Loose and Insurgency Sandstorm. Both are military sim tactical shooters, which I really like. Hell Let Loose is a World War II based shooter. It just came out October 5th, and PlayStation has it on PlayStation Plus right now. So if you're a PlayStation Plus subscriber, you can get it for free. I've spent hours in this game already. It's like 100 player battles, 50v50. Communication is everything. It's made me ditch party chat and just go straight into game chat and talk to like my commander and squad leaders and all of this stuff. It's been so much fun. If you are disappointed by the direction that Call of Duty and Battlefield are going in, these two games, Hell Let Loose and Insurgency Sandstorm, are the games for you. I promise. Those are the two that I'm really excited about right now. Insurgency, it's also a tactical military sim shooter, but it's modern. It's not World War II. And it does game modes like, demolition, pushing the objective, things like that. Super, super good. I recommend both of them. I love them. I don't think either of you have played them, have you?
No, I've actually, I played the beta of Hell Let Loose, but I haven't played the actual release.
Super good. I'm loving it. It's one of my favorite shooters right now. Both of them. Okay. But Hell Let Loose probably takes an edge just by a little bit. Okay. Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl. Has anyone played this? The Smash successor.
I downloaded it right before the podcast, but because I want to try it out, but I haven't played it yet. But I'm hearing a lot of really good things about it.
Yeah. So I'm going to go and give my friend Connor a shout out here. My friend Connor, and I hope he's watching. He's a Smash legend. Okay. And he bought the game as well. And I've never played Smash. And now when I say I've never played Smash, I mean like I've never like played Smash, but of course I've played Smash. Like I've never like played it legit. Yeah. Like I've played like a match here and there. I've never been like, oh, Smash is my life. But Connor loves Smash, right? We play this game and I beat the snot out of him over and over and over again. And it makes me want to try Smash. Now he could be, what's that word called? Hustling me. He could be hustling me to get me into Smash. I don't know. Yeah. The jury's still out, but I'll let you all know. But Cat Dog is life. Cat Dog is the best fighter in that game. Fight me.
Yeah.
Battlefield.
I heard the roster is ridiculous in that game.
It's pretty good. And some files were data mined, and there's new characters that'll be coming. Those have leaked.
Yeah, and they also, I don't know if you saw, but they partnered with Xbox and they have a SpongeBob themed Xbox, and they also have a Ninja Turtles one, which I would definitely
pretty cool.
I would definitely get the Ninja Turtles one.
Did you see them, Emily?
No.
Oh, they look awesome. Like I don't even like SpongeBob, but that console, it's like
you have to like stand it up. You have to stand it up though, basically, which is fine, but it looks cool.
It looks awesome, yeah. Battlefield 2042 beta. Anybody here play it?
No.
Guess what?
Don't tell me bad news. I've heard
it, doesn't it? It sucks.
It just depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for Battlefield, like what Battlefield used to be, then you're probably not going to like it.
Oh, no.
If you're looking for a game that kind of has Battlefield gameplay modes, but Modern Warfare / Warzone gameplay, you'll probably be okay.
I liked Battlefield 1. I really digged deep into Battlefield 1. I absolutely love that one. I love the old guns and the warfare style that it did. I'm not a fan of like the Warzone stuff. And
well, wait.
All that,
do you have an Xbox Series X, Emily?
Nope.
You have a PC though, obviously.
I have a PC, yeah.
Something just fell.
That's your cat.
Yes.
Well, I will say, if you like Battlefield 1, Hell Let Loose is on PC and it goes on sale all the time. And I'm telling you, it's a great game. Yeah. I highly recommend it. I don't know if Battlefield 2042, if it was just the map that I wasn't crazy about or what, but like the bullets fired like lasers. Like it wasn't like they weren't lasers, but it was just like straight shooting. There was no like real noticeable bullet drop. I'm sure there was some, but it was just kind of.
Yeah, I looked good. I missed the Battlefield. I can't remember which one it was, but it was It was the one that had
everything.
It was the one that had the skyscraper that fell and flooded the map. Which one was that?
4, I think.
Yeah, that was probably the last one that I was like crazy about, because you could also do on the one that had like the big satellite dish in the middle and it kind of had like GoldenEye vibes to it. Like that was my last favorite Battlefield game that I played. And I had high hopes for this, but hopefully maybe once it releases, maybe it'll be a little bit better. I had a friend of mine that played it and said it felt super polished, but I mean, just because it's polished doesn't mean the gameplay is the same.
Yeah. I mean, gameplay wise, it was fine. It's not the gameplay that I wanted, but they're not making the game necessarily for me individually. So I was going to get over it, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, one day I'm sure, I'm sure if I would love it if I played it a lot, but I'm just not.
When you have to play a game a lot to love it, that means it's not a great game.
No, I just mean, that's not what I meant. Yeah. I just meant like, it's not Battlefield anymore. And that's what I really wanted, but I don't know. So like I said, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl came out, but Smash released some news. Travis, you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So Smash has been out for what feels like forever now, but they've still been going into the studio and making new characters to release in the game to continue to grow that roster. And I think this is the final character that they're doing for this version of Smash. But they revealed in Smash Brothers Ultimate that Sora from the Kingdom Hearts games is actually going to be the new character, which is kind of a big deal because it's part of the Disney franchise and Square Enix, which there's other Square Enix characters in the game. But with this being more of like a Disney / like Square Enix thing, it was kind of complicated for them to actually be able to manage to get Sora locked down for the game. I hope that means that we may possibly be seeing maybe some ports of the Kingdom Hearts games coming to the Switch, because as of right now, I don't think you can play Kingdom Hearts on the Switch. But yeah, so evidently his moveset, everybody seems to be pretty happy like what they've showed so far, but I haven't actually got to check it out yet personally, but I will. So I thought that was kind of cool. So more news to come on that if we'll actually see Kingdom Hearts come to the Switch, maybe with that new fresh OLED Switch that just released that I'm not interested in buying until they give me a 4K model or something like a Switch Pro or something, But yeah, but that's all the news for that. However, Justin, I'm super jealous that you have went and seen the new James Bond movie, and I want you to try to tell me all about it without spoiling anything.
Yeah, same.
Okay. So even if you had seen this movie, I had already decided I wasn't going to spoil it because this movie is too good to spoil, and there might be somebody listening or watching, and I don't want to ruin that for them either. So no spoilers here. I'll just give my thoughts. So Real quick, the boring stuff. This movie is actually kind of a domestic failure. It only made 55 million, which is pretty low for a Bond movie. But it did gross 314 million worldwide. But in America, it didn't do that great compared to other Bond movies. This is the last movie for Daniel Craig. It's been delayed for it feels like forever because of COVID. I just got to say, I have seen a lot of comments on the internet about this Bond movie, mainly from older men who grew up in a certain generation watching Bond movies, and they didn't like the shift, which there has definitely been a shift. He's not as much of a womanizer anymore. In fact, I would say in this movie, he's not a womanizer at all. You can tell that there's actual character growth. He's no longer just like this, hey, I've got a license to kill. I'm going to go in and blow some stuff up, blah, blah, blah. He's still going to do those things, but he's going to have some depth to him, it's nice. It makes you care about the character a heck of a lot more. Like I always cared about James Bond, but I really cared about James Bond in this movie. I would say Daniel Craig crushed it. I don't know the actress's. Well, I know the actress's name. I just don't know how to pronounce it, but Leah Seydoux or I don't know what her name is, but French actress. She's like one of the female leads. She's amazing in this movie. I would say the weakest part of the movie would be the villains, Rami Malek and Christoph Waltz, because
that's surprising.
It's not their fault. It's not their performance. It's just, I feel like they weren't given enough to do. The movie's really Bond heavy. Like it's really kind of like his, hey, this is Daniel Craig's last movie. We're gonna, just go all out. And while the villains are okay, I mean, they just aren't given. I feel like they kind of wasted them to an extent. Still a great movie. I mean, it doesn't make the movie worse. I feel like they could have really capitalized on having these two Oscar winning actors, just completely just go and be nuts. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I loved it. And I've been trying to rank the Daniel Craig Bond movies in my head ever since. And honestly, the top three between Casino Royale, Skyfall, and now No Time to Die, I don't know how to rank those three. Like they just kind of are interchangeable for the top spot for me. With Spectre and Quantum being the final two or final 4 and 5, but super good. Like I just can't get over it. Please, if you haven't seen it, don't spoil it. If you have seen it, don't spoil it for others. My sister had it spoiled for her yesterday. I actually had it spoiled for me because I'm in a James Bond fan group on Facebook because I love Bond, and these cranky old Brits they got it a week before us, and they were on there going, "Oh my gosh, what have they done to our boy?" So they ruined it, but still one of the best. And this could be because it's like the first movie I've seen in theaters in a really long time, but one of the best, I don't know, movie going experiences I've had. So definitely go see it. Highly recommend. 2 thumbs up. Hopefully that's not trademarked.
And the action is good.
Oh, dude, there's one part that like gave me John Wick vibes. It's like a one shot. It's like a stairwell fight. And it's like a one shot. Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, dude. I think I might do
great, actually.
I might do a matinee of that and go see it tomorrow during the day.
After lunch.
You can just go see the movie with me. It's fine.
I don't get a 3-hour lunch break. It's a long movie.
I heard you had diarrhea and you had to leave.
I didn't hear that.
Just kidding.
You can see it after lunch. All right. So that's my Bond talk. Now, Emily.
Yes.
You are the most recent person to watch this.
Yes.
It's time to finally dive in.
We should probably give a spoiler alert.
Okay.
Yes. Spoiler alert for Ted Lasso. Final season finale. Yeah.
That's right.
Holy smokes! So we're actually a couple of weeks behind.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna stand for this conversation. I just feel like I have to. Go ahead.
All right, I think I will too. No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say mine's not a standing desk. I can't do that. But yeah, so I literally just watched it. I've had a very low energy day, and so I slept and chilled on the couch and haven't done anything. So these guys texted me and was like, "Hey, we're gonna talk about this." I'm like, "Woo, I haven't watched it yet." So I literally just watched it. I loved the whole episode until the very end when Nick.
Well, hang on. We got to back up a little bit.
No, I just want to get out like how much I hate him now.
Well, we got
talk about Nate.
We got to plant
Nate. Why did I call him Nick? Because I hate him so much.
I think the
Because I
actor's name
hate
is
him
Nick
so
Mohammed.
much.
That's
true.
We got to plant some seeds first. So Rebecca's dad died, and Rupert attended the funeral, and it told her that he sold his shares in AFC Richmond.
Yeah.
And then you see him whispering to Nate.
Yeah.
Then we find out in the next episode that
I
Ted
forgot about him whispering to Nate.
Yeah, Ted comes clean about his panic attack to the what are they called? The Diamond Dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he comes clean to them, and then at the end of that episode, you find out he gets a text from Trent Grimm, independent, saying like, "Hey, I heard you had a panic attack. I wrote a story about it. Also, Nate told me," which was kind of weird professionally, but we're not going to nitpick that right now. At least I'm not. You all can.
I liked that part because he's like professionally, he's like, I can't tell you who told me. He goes, but as your friend.
Okay.
Yeah. He was like, as your friend, he goes, it was Nate.
Yeah.
And I loved that. I thought that was great. And it kind of led up to the season finale too. So
yeah. Also at this point, the psychiatrist has left. She moved or like just stopped working for Richmond. And Sam and Rebecca split while Sam is being courted by a Nigerian football club. So Edwin,
what's his name? Edwin.
I don't know. But Sam Richardson played it amazing until the one scene in the finale. I didn't really like that.
I knew that guy was going to be a douchebag.
What? You didn't like the
I knew he was, but I hated that whole like just tantrum.
I loved it. Jesse was in the kitchen making pizza, and I'm like, he just did this, and Jesse was like, what? And I was like, he just did this, and then just pooped on him.
That's true.
Yeah.
You guys love poop. I don't know why you don't, I don't know why you didn't like that scene.
I don't know. For some reason, that scene just kind of like, I was like, is this really? But I'll watch it again. We'll see if
him teabagging that mannequin and then pretending he was pooping on it. I mean, what's not the love?
He's like, I'm pooping.
I don't know.
Somebody brought up to me a good point that I never thought about is like, should we be concerned about Sam's family? You know what I mean? Is that guy going to terrorize his family? Like,
because he's rich and he can really do whatever.
I mean, he straight up told him he was going to find his childhood home, burn it down, and then take one of the ashes and put it in his butthole. What?
Yeah,
who says that?
I don't know if the show would go that dark, but I think it will. I think Sam will definitely, because he mentioned he'll never play for the Nigerian national team, and I imagine that's something that's pretty important to Sam. So I think we'll probably see something like that fall out, but. So the Sam stuff was interesting. Basically the whole episode though kind of had this cloud hanging over it where like Beard knew. He just kind of knew though, like no one told him. He just like knew.
Yeah.
And then Ted obviously knew. So it's kind of like this tension the entire like 50 minutes of the episode of like, oh God, like this is just gonna blow up.
Yeah.
Who else thought it was hilarious that Beard told Nate that he would headbutt him? Because Nate was genuinely upset that Roy didn't care enough about him to be mad enough to headbutt him. And then Beard's like I'll headbutt you. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
Beard's great. I love Beard.
The whole like speech between Nate and Ted was really well done, even though I didn't like Nate in that moment. Like everything, like he didn't say anything that wasn't true.
Right.
That's what stinks. Like he's doing everything wrong, but like he didn't say anything that was incorrect. Like he was brought up, he was built up, and then he was kind of just tossed aside for Roy and everyone else. Like I get that part of the character, but he's just handled it very poorly since.
You're right.
I still feel like Nate, which we haven't gone into the Nate part at the end, but I feel like he could still be redeemed.
I thought he was just being a big baby. Because I thought he was being a big baby because he was like the whole thing where, he said, hey, I have this, what was it, reverse 9 or something like that is what they called it.
False 9.
The false 9. Yeah. And, he said, hey, I come in with this new play, and Ted's like, oh, this is great. And he goes, yeah, I know. Like, he's just being so, he felt like he's being condescending. He's just being just he's gotten too big for his britches.
Yeah.
That Ted bought him. Exactly. Like Ted freaking did so much for Nate.
No, I agree.
So much for Nate, and now he's just being a twat.
Yeah. Well, I just feel like, I mean, like I said, I don't feel like anything Nate said was not, well, I feel like the stuff like you should be in Kansas, you don't belong here. That part's not good, but like you kind of built me up, you let me, and then you let me go pretty much. I understand what he's saying there, but I feel like he could have just said, "Hey Ted, you're the most approachable person in the world. Can I talk about some grievances I have?"
Right. Yeah.
And instead he thought, you know what? I'm gonna salt the earth instead. I'm just gonna blow it up.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it just felt like Ted saw that he was doing so well, and he thought he could stand on his own. Because I mean, Ted has all this other stuff he has to deal with, his anxiety, his panic attacks. Like he probably felt like Nate is essentially a part of the team. He's a big part of the team. He's big part of the coaches, and so he probably felt like he's he could come to me if he has any. I don't know. It just to me, I don't know. I thought that they did awful by Nate because I love Nate in season 1. Absolutely adored him. He was amazing. Yeah. And then he just became an ass.
Yep.
Yeah. And the transition's actually really been taking place since the first season. I can't remember who sent out the tweet. I don't know if it was somebody sent me a tweet. I don't know if it was you, Justin, or if it was Terry. Have you seen the tweet that the actor that played Nate had released, and it basically outlined everything from season 1 all the way at the end of season 2, every little thing that you see that like Nate that triggered Nate and basically how it's changing his character. Did you all see that by chance?
No, but
yeah,
I'll
send it to you. Yeah, I'll send it to you because like it goes all the way back, and they even discussed like how long it would have actually been where there wasn't a scene with Ted and Nate together. It was like 7 or 8 episodes went by where they didn't have a scene together.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's stuff I didn't even pick up on at the time. But he also talks about how they kind of use his hair to show how he's transitioning into like being that asshole.
That final shot.
It's getting more gray and more gray.
Yeah.
And more gray.
Yeah.
I noticed that. Like I noticed how like gray it was getting. And I was just like, why? I don't feel like his hair should have gone that gray that quick.
Maybe it's just all that hate consuming him. And what's really super sad is like Nate had no idea. Like, to be fair, Ted didn't know what Nate was dealing with because he didn't say anything. Mm-hmm. But also, like, Nate had no idea what Ted's going through, like on like outside of that circle or whatever. Like, he's talking to a therapist, he's crying, he's having panic attacks, like he's got a lot of stuff he's dealing with too. But like Nate just wants to be a selfish little punk, you know what I mean? But I'm curious to see. One of the things that I wanted to mention is that when this show was originally wrote and pitched, that it was only really slated for 3 seasons, and they haven't really said if that's going to continue because they wanted to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And it may be that we get 3 seasons, but then we get a spinoff of something else with it, or because it's obviously been a critically successful and all this stuff that, maybe Apple will go back to the original team and be like, hey, is there something you want to do where, we're going to produce more content for you guys, or, maybe see what other directions they can go. Now, if it's 3 seasons and we get 3 great seasons, I say end it, but don't like just add on into it and it just becomes something that it's not. You know what I mean? Yeah. That would be my biggest. Yeah. That 9th season.
Yeah.
I watched it to watch it to say that it was kind of like when I always watched up to The Office until Michael left, and I never went past that point. Yeah. And then I eventually did just to say I did it. But yeah, so
I feel like the cast of Ted Lasso is so strong. The characters are so strong that even because I know Bill Lawrence always says like, if Jason Sudeikis wants to do it, we'll do it. But even if Jason Sudeikis didn't want to do it, the show Ted Lasso is just kind of what brought all these people and brought the best of them out. If Ted goes back to America, I don't see why they can't continue an AFC Richmond show with the characters that are there, because it's such a strong ensemble. I mean, every single one of them was nominated for an Emmy, and most of them won.
Yeah.
What if they use that as Nate's redemption story, where he comes back and maybe
No, that ship has sailed, Travis. No. He can be redeemed, but he could not be the lead of the show. If that's what
I won't watch it.
That ship has sailed.
No, I didn't necessarily mean I just meant he would fold back into being one of the coaches, not the Ted Lasso. But yeah,
I don't think so.
What's your all's thoughts about the where we are with Roy and Keeley?
Oh, I loved it.
I don't know what's going on with them.
I'm a girl. I loved it, but
I did not.
You didn't like the end? You didn't. Oh, well, the end was kind of like.
That's what I meant. Yeah. Like I love the part leading up to that where he's like, he saw the pictures, he saw he wasn't in it, he recognized how strong she looked.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to be in them, but he also in the back of his mind's like, well, maybe she stands on her own and doesn't need me. And then he starts to question, like, am I holding her back type situation? And then by the end of the show, it's like, by the end of the finale, it's like, well, you go be away for 6 weeks and I'm going to stay here and work. And I feel like he thinks like, if you're okay letting me go, that because I think we also got a little bit of that feeling in the episode where he was talking to the teacher and she asked if he was married and he just right off the bat said no. I just think, maybe they aren't into it as much as they maybe want to make them think that they are or something. I don't know, but I do love them as a character and I love them as a couple, but I'm a little scared. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like they're like I get where she's coming from. Like she has this new job, and it would look really bad if this company just spent so much money and invested so much money in her to start this new PR firm, and then she's just like, okay, bye, I'm going to go away for 6 weeks. Like it's just kind of like that's bad business. Like that's a good way to get yourself fired, and that's a good way to, especially for 6 weeks. Like. Yeah. What was he thinking for 6 weeks after she just, signed this deal and everything? Like I could see if I can see if he does go does go for 6 weeks that, he leaves her the ticket, right? Like he leaves her the second ticket, and like she ends up coming and visiting him, for like a week or something, like in next season or something, to come get him back or whatever.
Yeah, we'll see. We have to wait. Like, what's it going to be? Probably next fall until we get another season.
Probably August, September, I would say.
Big sad. Sad.
At least this time though, they'll be able to hopefully know how many episodes they're going to do right away instead of adding this filler.
Do more.
Yeah, for sure.
Do more than 12.
Yeah.
Give us 20.
Yeah.
So yeah. Strong second season though.
Yeah.
Really strong.
Yeah. I thought
probably better than the first.
Yeah, I would say so. I think it was consistently, I feel like every episode like built on the last one, and it just got better and better throughout the season. I know a lot of people didn't like the episode specifically with like Beard and his character, but I didn't mind it. I thought it was something that kind of shook it up a little bit and something that was a little different. And I'll tell you what, I don't know how long it's been since you guys have went back and watched the first season, but after watching the first season, it just makes you wonder how often Beard goes out and has that kind of life.
Yeah.
Because he always comes in almost the same way into the office every time and kicks his feet up, puts his hat over his eyes. He's like, man, maybe he just parties 24/7. I don't know. Blowing off all that steam. But yeah. So does anybody have anything else?
Did you watch? Have you been keeping up on Foundation?
I was actually going to talk about that during the next section.
Oh!
So okay.
Spoiler alert.
So yeah, spoiler alert. I've watched up to episode 3. I've not watched episode 4 yet.
Yeah, I've watched 4, but I won't talk about that.
Yeah, don't spoil.
I'm just going to talk about the premise of the show and why I think people should watch it.
It's amazing. It is really good. Okay, yeah. Sorry. Go. So yeah, it's.
Yeah.
And have you watched Morning Show? Have you been caught up on
Morning Show?
Yes,
I'm finally caught up on that as well.
How many episodes? Is there 3 episodes?
I think they're both 4 episodes right now.
Okay.
Foundation and the Morning Show.
I don't know if I've watched all the way up through.
Yeah, I think we get new episodes of both of those shows on Fridays, kind of like we were with Ted Lasso. So
okay, yeah.
But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into pick of the week, if that's okay with you guys. Pick of the week,
right.
week. So my pick of the week, is Foundation.
Wow, I'm so surprised.
Yeah,
I was going to talk about that with what I was up to, but I thought I'd just save it to the end. I watched the first day that it came out. I watched 18 minutes of it, but I had a lot of other stuff going on. So I went back 2 days ago, and I watched everything leading up to like where they are now. And the show is amazing. It's one of those shows that you cannot have just in the background while you're doing something else. Like you have to dedicate the time if you want to watch it, because there's a lot of different stories. I believe we're seeing different timelines as well.
Yeah.
But one of the cool concepts for me, I don't know how you felt about it, Emily, and it's not really a spoiler, but the people that run the empire, they basically they basically clone themselves, but they have like a child version, a middle-aged version, and an elder version, but they're basically the same person, but just at different ages.
Dawn, day, dusk.
Yeah, dawn, day, and dusk. And that's such a cool concept. And it's like really different. I guess this book was a very big inspiration for George Lucas to make Star Wars. I guess, it had a pretty big part of his life, and that's what kind of inspired him to want to do that. And, the cast is phenomenal. The story is phenomenal. And not really most importantly, but the thing I've been most impressed by is the production value, just the quality of the cinematics, and just like you feel like every episode you're just watching a movie, honestly, is how I feel.
Yeah. The whole like space exploration thing and the graphics on the planets and like it honestly feels like another almost like a better, I don't know, it
reminds me of a sci-fi Game of Thrones is the vibes I get.
Yeah, no, for sure. We'll probably never get like a sequel to Fifth Element. We'll never get a renewal of Firefly, and we'll never get things that we want. So, but like Foundation is kind of giving us a little bit of everything that we want from all those, other shows.
Yeah.
And I really like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, same. So I like it a lot.
Yeah, mystery, space, science.
All I'm gonna say, and I won't give anything away. I won't give the specific spoiler away. Okay. But the person that I thought was gonna be in the show a lot, I was real sad to realize that they weren't, unless it's somewhere else. If you know what I mean.
The big actor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, no, I think.
Yeah, I was super sad to see that. I was like, man, this really sucks. And I was thinking, well, maybe he cloned him, made a younger version of himself or something that we don't know about. I don't know.
I mean, if the Empire has the ability to clone themselves, then
because I got that vibe based off because I made it feel like that guy when he did it, he knew he had to do it. And maybe he knew that if he didn't, somebody else would do it. You know what I mean? Type situation. And maybe they made a new I don't know. We'll see. But anyways, that's my pick. Foundation, Apple TV Plus. If you haven't watched it, definitely check it out. But make sure that you're not doing anything else while you're watching it. Just dedicate the time.
Yes.
So what about you, Emily? What's your pick of the week?
Probably New World, just because, that's all I've been playing. Just nonstop. I've even been streaming it, I've been streaming it, but then I've also been grinding off stream. And I don't normally do that with video games. Normally if I'm going to stream a game, I'm going to just play the game on stream. I'm not going to play off stream just because I don't want people to miss things that are catching my stream every time. So for me, there's so much to do. There's so much side quests. And I'm level 21 and I just did I feel like the first main story quest, so I think it was the Old Stone Remembers quest or whatever. I just now did it at 21. So you can sit there and not do hardly any main story quest and just go through and just do all these side quests and everything. And I love that. I love that you can kind of play it at your own pace too. And it's definitely going to be the game that I am going to be playing up until Wonderlands comes out for sure. It's going to be my back and forth between Destiny, Borderlands 3, and New World.
So it's worked its way into your rotation.
Yes, 100%. I didn't honestly think that it would as heavily as it has. But it's
refreshing. I feel like
I've played Skyrim. I loved Fable as a kid. I do like MMOs and MMORPGs. You've got World of Warcraft and you've got Skyrim, but Skyrim just didn't hit that spot. It didn't hit the spot for me. And WoW was just pay. You had to pay to play, and I hated that aspect of WoW, and that's why I never got into WoW. And so with this, a $30 game that literally I'm level 21 on multiple characters, and I haven't even scratched the surface on it. And I love that. So, yep, that's my pick of the week. And I can't wait to play more. I actually might stream later after. I was going to stream earlier today, but I might stream after the podcast and play some more New World.
Fair enough. What about you, Justin?
All right. So mine is, I should have uploaded this earlier. Shoot. I was trying to upload a background for mine. Mine is going to be No Time to Die. The new Bond movie. I talked about it a little bit ago, and I just really loved it. And there we go. I got it back there.
Hey.
Yeah, it would have been cooler had I fixed that. I was afraid if I uploaded it while you were talking, it would just take over. So I waited, and then it all just screwed up. But definitely No Time to Die. Go see it. Hopefully the first of many. Well, I guess it's not the first, but one of the first blockbusters to be in theaters during this crazy world we're in. And it's a good one. So definitely No Time to Die.
All right. Fair enough. Well, anybody have anything else before Justin takes us home? Who's going to take you home? No?
All right. So this has been episode 120 of Nerds with Mics. Thank you for watching. If you don't catch us live, we're on your favorite podcasting app and YouTube and Facebook after the show. And yeah, check out Emily's stream later if she streams New World. And yeah, we'll see you Sunday, I guess, right? Sunday?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.